There's no sports league unlike it anywhere in the world, where cartoons and football come together. This is the United States Cartoon Football League, celebrating its 40th anniversary.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Season's greetings, cartoon and football fans, and especially fans of He-Man. This is Robbie Graham of the USCFL Network welcoming you back to the He-Man Triple Threat Episode Runoff Challenge. First and foremost, if you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or any other holiday that occurs during this time of year, may it be happy, healthy, and most importantly, safe. When the new He-Man series initially aired back on July 23rd, we started a new episode runoff the following week. However, even though it was said that 10 episodes would air, only 5 were put out first. No one knew at that time if or when the other 5 episodes would air. The backlash that was caused when the first 5 episodes aired might have made it impossible for the series to finish. Now, this past week, the remaining 5 episodes aired on Netflix. And as an indirect result, these 5 episodes didn't spark the same backlash the first 5 episodes did. In fact, it was the exact opposite. After we finished the Flintstones vs. Jetsons runoff, we can now continue with the He-Man runoff. To those of you who are joining us for the first time, we bid you a cordial welcome, and we hope that you'll enjoy everything this channel has to offer. To recap what happened previously in this runoff, as with all of our runoffs, we pit one episode from the original 1983 series and the 2002 remake with randomly selected episodes against one episode from the new series in chronological order. Like what we did when we did the She-Ra runoffs 2 years ago, no He-Man episode was featured for the new series didn't have him in the show. The same rule applies here. Although the original He-Man was featured in 22 She-Ra episodes, those episodes are excluded since the 2002 remake or the new series doesn't feature her. Since we are a fantasy football / cartoon channel, we use football scoring in all of our runoffs from 0 to 8 points. When we left off this runoff back on August 28th, the original He-Man series led with 36 out of a possible 40 points. The 2002 remake was in second place with 32 points, and the new series was bringing up the rear with 29 points. Now another 40 points is up for grabs. Can the new series bounce back even though they're down by 7 points, or will the original series or the remake prevail? You will find out over the course of the next 5 weeks. After a brief pause, Bob Wilson will take over as we will continue with round 6 and the second half of the He-Man Triple Threat Episode Runoff Challenge. 1983 He-Man Series, Season 1, Episode 29, Prince Adam No More. As the episode begins, Skeletor is angry with Beastman for yet another failure of his plans. He then banishes this minion from Snake Mountain. Man-at-Arms has been working on an attack track, preparing it for King Randor's next trip. He tells Prince Adam and Orko that the king wants to only take his bravest warrior as his escort, and Adam is put out that his father doesn't respect him enough to choose him. Orko wants to prove that he is worthy of going on the mission, but he fails, and the attack track goes out of control, requiring He-Man to stop it. King Randor has arrived and sees the damage that Orko has created. Prince Adam then goes to Castle Grayskull and tells the sorceress of his desire to stop pretending to be a goofball and announce his true identity as He-Man. Sorceress warns him that the deception is necessary to protect his loved ones. King Randor relents and reluctantly takes Prince Adam with him instead of He-Man. While they are transiting this forest, Beastman and his Shadow Beasts attack. Beastman tells Prince Adam to bring all the gold from the palace to Snake Mountain if he ever wants to see King Randor again. He then uses a freeze gun to stop Adam and Man-at-Arms from following. When the effects of the freeze ray wear off, Adam transforms into He-Man and leaves Man-at-Arms to repair the attack track. When Beastman arrives at Snake Mountain, he finds that only Merman is there. Skeletor and the others have gone on a search and destroy mission in outer space. Beastman and Merman place King Randor in the dungeons and have a feast for themselves. He-Man arrives and frees King Randor, and the two of them defeat their adversaries. King Randor resumes his mission but is puzzled by Prince Adam's comments, causing him to briefly wonder if Adam is He-Man. He casts the doubt aside.
The next episode is from the 2002 He-Man series, Season 1, Episode 23, The Sweet Smell of Victory. A small, white, furry creature named Oedipus enters an old building seeking potions. He hides when 4 of the evil warriors arrive seeking a purple container. Then He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Teela, and Roboto arrive. During the battle, Roboto causes the building to collapse, forcing He-Man to break off the battle and support the falling roof long enough for his friends to escape. Oedipus trails the evil warriors back to Snake Mountain, hoping to join the evil horde. He sneaks into Triclops' laboratory and sees him adding the purple container to a machine. Skeletor summons Triclops for a progress report, and Oedipus uses the opportunity to tamper with Triclops' experiment. In Skeletor's throne room, Evil Lyn tells Beastman that the purpose of the device is to remedy his body odor. Oedipus causes the experiment to malfunction, and the result causes him to increase in size and changes the color of his fur from white to black. It also causes him to have a strong stench, so much so that Oedipus is forced to wear a gas mask. Oedipus is cast out of Snake Mountain to prove his value. His stench causes a herd of unilopes to stampede towards the palace. As the heroic warriors deal with the stampede, Roboto is convinced that he is making too many mistakes, but Man-at-Arms tells him to keep trying. Skeletor is impressed with Oedipus and uses him to attack the palace. The guards smell the stench and order an evacuation. He-Man and Man-at-Arms seek to find the source of the smell and battle Oedipus. Meanwhile, Skeletor launches a surprise attack on the empty palace. He-Man hurls Stinkor at Skeletor, which forces him to break off the attack. However, Skeletor is impressed enough with Oedipus to accept him as an evil warrior. Oedipus then announces that his new name will be Stinkor. The final episode is from the 2021 Masters of the Universe series, Episode 6, Cleaved in Twain. This episode carries on immediately after Episode 5. Skeletor has the Sword of Power, which transforms him into Skelegod. He is too powerful for the heroic warriors and even defeats the sorceress, who uses the last of her power to teleport the mortally wounded Prince Adam away with Teela. Skeletor tells Evil Lyn that when she thought he was dead, he had actually transferred his essence into her wand, where he survived by tapping into her life force like a tick. Evil Lyn does not seem happy with the way he used her, even though she is now the new sorceress of Castle Grayskull. At the palace, the sorceress imbues Teela with the power to heal Adam. The palace guards tell Adam and Teela that King Grandor, the Queen, and most of the inhabitants have already fled. Skelegod then transforms the few stragglers and the palace guards into zombies under his control. Skelegod mocks Adam for being less than a man, but Adam joins in the laughter and reveals that the sword was only the focus of his power and that he does not need it to transform into He-Man. He does so, but becomes Savage He-Man, a much more powerful and primal version of He-Man as the episode ends. We will now briefly pause before returning with this week's scores and wrap-up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
World. And although most men are hoes, he flows on the down low, cause I never heard about him with another girl. But I don't sweat it, because it's just pathetic to let it get me involved in that he said, she said. said crowd. I know that ain't nobody perfect. I give props to those who deserve it, and believe me, y'all, he's worth it.
Wrap up. Prince Adam No More was a good episode which showed the pain that Adam bears in keeping his family unaware that he is He-Man. I give it a 7. The Sweet Smell of Victory was an origin story for Stinkor, one of the minor characters. Roboto learns not to let failure defeat his confidence in himself. I give this episode a 6. Cleaved in Twain was an excellent episode. It revealed how Skeletor was able to survive. It made clear that Teela was the daughter of Sorceress and is going to inherit her powers now that the Sorceress is gone. As for Prince Adam, his ability to transform into Savage He-Man without his sword of power is reminiscent of the Marvel movie Thor Ragnarok, where Thor realized that he did not need his hammer to summon his powers. I give this episode a 7. As always, viewers are welcome to submit their own reviews and scores. This is Bob Mozark of the USCFL signing off until next week, and I hope that you have had a happy Thanksgiving.